Now we're going to create a chair, and this is the chair that's going to be completed by the end of this video. Okay, so let's look at this in the perspective view. Now first of all, you have to know the dimensions of the chair. The height is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 45 so for the lower part, and another 45 for the upper part, so that would be a total of 90 centimeters and 45 also for the width of the chair. We're going to start off creating the spline framework, and then we're going to fill in the sitting and back parts using polygonal geometry. Okay, so let's start off. So switching to the left view, I'm going to zoom over, and I'm going to note the 1 meter mark, which is over here. I'm going to go to create shapes and choose line, and I will make sure that snap to grid points is active. Okay, I'll start off here. So I'll click 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 45, so I'll go to 5, and then I'll move the vertices backwards. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll do the same for the vertices later. And then I'll click here and go up to 90. And then I'll right click. I'm now going to go to modify, choose vertex. I'm going to select these vertices, and I'll set their z value to a value of 45. Now when I select two, I cannot enter a z value, so I can either select one of them at a time, or I can click on segment and I'll enter the z value for the whole segment, 45. And I'll select this one too, and the y value should be again negative 45. And this vertex is at a height of 90, which is good. Okay, now I'll switch back to my left view. I'm going to select these vertices. I'm going to press Ctrl to add to my selection, and I'm going to fill them out by a value of 5 centimeters. Okay. Now I need to create a copy of this, which is distant by 45 centimeters again. So I'll go to spline, select this spline here, and then I'll make sure that snap is again active, and I'll press shift 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and in the x-axis I'll type 45, and then I would have a separation of 45. Okay, so I'll go back to vertex now, and I'm going to scroll up to the connect button, and I'm going to connect this vertex to the other one here. So now I have here two vertices at either side. I'll select them both again, and I'll fill them out by a value of 5 centimeters. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I need to curve out the back. So how am I going to do that? First I'm going to go to my top view, and the best way to do this is to actually go to create and choose arc and snap and create the arc like so. Now I cannot snap to that point because I don't have snap to vertex activated. So I'll choose snap to vertex, and I'll start from this one, drag to the other one, and give it the radius that I like here. Okay, I'll click. Now this is located down below, so I have to move it up to a z value of 90. Okay. Now I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to click on segment, and I'll delete the extra segments that I don't need here. And I'm going to select each vertex and set its height to a value of 90. I could have done this at the beginning without curving the vertices, but I wanted to show you how to fix any problems in case they arise during the modeling process. Now I need to scroll up again and choose attach, and attach that new arc. And here I have two vertices at the same position, so I need to weld them together into one. So I'll select both vertices, and I'll go down and choose weld. Okay, and I'll do the same for the other ones here, weld. Good. So now again I will select those two, and I'll fill them out by a value of 5 centimeters. Okay, so now if I look at this from the top view, I have a nice curvature here, and again from the perspective view, looks very nice. Okay, now I'm gonna repeat the same curvature down at this level. So I'm gonna go to segment and select in the front view these segments, and I'm gonna press shift and lower them down by making a copy, and I need these to be at this level. So how am I going to catch exactly that level? What I will do is set the snap to vertex, and I'm going to move this upwards, and I'm going to go down and snap onto that level here. Okay, so now that I have them properly placed, what I will do is choose now 3D snap, which will enable me to take one vertex and place it at another one. So I'll click on this vertex now, and this needs to be placed over here at this vertex. Okay, now I have to right click and choose corner so that the vertex joins properly the other end, and I'll do the same for this one. So I'll grab the vertex, move it up to that level, right click and choose corner, and now I have a beautiful alignment like so. Okay, now I need to repeat the same process for the two parts here at the sitting part of the chair. So I'm going to select this spline, go to my left view, press shift and drag down a copy. I'm going to rotate it with angle snap by a value of 90 degrees, and again I'm going to switch to 2.5D snap, and I'll select this vertex and place it over here. Again, I'll make a copy, select this and move it over there. So everything snaps beautifully into position. Now what I need to do is scroll up to rendering, check renderable and display render mesh, and there you go. This is my framework. I'll set the thickness to 2 centimeters. Okay, very nice. Now what I need to do is to create the polygonal parts for the back and for the sitting part of my chair. Okay, for that I'm gonna go to create a box in my front view, and I'm gonna snap this time to grid points, and I'll start off over here and go down to that point there. Now in case I cannot catch that point, it means that I need to choose vertex snap. So I go down from this grid point to that vertex. Okay, now I'm gonna set my height to a value, say, of 1 centimeter, maybe less. I'm gonna see later. But for now, I'm gonna increase the width segments to be able to curve out the back. Okay, so let's set the height to a value of 0.5 centimeters. And now I'm gonna choose modifiers, parametric deformers, and bend. I'll set the bend axis to X, and that way I can bend in the proper axis. Now I'm going to switch to my top view to determine the bending angle. So I'll move this backwards like so and change the angle until I have the right angle. In this case it looks like it has to be an angle of 50 degrees. So I'll press F3 here, and I'll see that the box fits perfectly except for these corners that are springing out. To solve that problem, I'm going to increase the length segments for my box, like so, maybe to a value of 10, or let's leave it at, actually all I need is probably 4. And then I'm going to add modifiers, mesh editing, and edit mesh. What this will do is, first of all, I'm going to move up these vertices, and then I'm going to select those vertices by pressing Control, click on scale, and scale them inwards like so, so that I don't have any parts coming out of the chair. Okay, so that fits perfectly here. Now I'm going to create a copy for the sitting part, and for that I'll switch back to my left view. I'll press shift and create a copy. Now rotate again by a value of 90 degrees, and I'll lower this down. Now for this object here, I don't need the edit mesh modifier, so I'm going to delete it, move this upwards, and then scale down the box by changing the length value. In this case it should be a value of 35. Okay, so I'll switch back to my perspective view, and I think I have to lower this down just a little bit. So there you go, this is my chair. Very nice, very proportionate. Look at the, maybe here I have to adjust the position of the vertices just a little bit. So I'm going to select these and move them upwards even more. Okay, and here I have a perfect fit. Okay, look at the materials movies so that you can create chromic and reflective plastic for this chair. So there you go.